What is up, guys? How's it going? Welcome back to another live stream. We're gonna have a little preview today of the upcoming Road America track, which is going to be released very soon for RaceRoom, and we are in the dev build, so that means you might see some work in progress stuff and some bugs maybe or glitches. Just be aware that this is the beta build or the dev build, so it's not the public build. That also explains why we are doing a multi-class single-player race. I did a bunch of testing with this and it seemed to work pretty good, so let's hope for the best. We have the Daytona prototypes and the GT3 class on this track today. I think it's a nice combination, especially off the back of the Daytona 24 hours. So I hope you will enjoy this. And yeah, let's just dive into it. We're gonna have mainly practice driving, I think, because it's very nice to drive in the traffic, and maybe we'll do the race afterwards. Let's see. So, obviously I'm driving Daytona prototype. Let's let the AI leave the pits a little bit so we can have some traffic, and in the meantime, why don't I use the free camera to move around the track a little bit to show you what it's like. But you have already seen the screenshots and the preview streams of Empty Box maybe, and the Sim Pit, and also Race Department has a stream about this track, so I'll just show you from my perspective. I think it turned out really good. The track looks pretty damn awesome, very detailed as usual quality. This track was mainly done by Wojtek, aka Fierce3, if you might remember his name from the old modding R-Factor days. Always delivering quality. I'm not super familiar with the track in terms of corner names. You'll probably know them better than I do. But there's a couple of very interesting and challenging corners, especially the one here coming up under this bridge, and then it's a very long right-hander, super long, and following this one we have this Continental tire bridge, and here's that kink, super fast right kink. It's flat out in most of the cars. And then we have this straight down through the forest, through the trees. Hard braking zone here. Another right-hander. A little S through the forest here. And then we're almost back to start finish. You see some lodding here. But yeah, I think it looks really, really good. Super nice details. And back into pit lane here. Very American banners here, but it's part of the charm. So yeah, it's Road America, also called Urquhart Lake in Wisconsin. There's the IndyCars are racing here, and the United Sports Car Championship, I believe it's what it's called these days, and a whole bunch of other series. So we have 60 cars on the track, which should make some very entertaining racing in traffic. Let's make sure that the free camera is disabled. Yes. The track is not laser scanned, no, but it's very accurate nonetheless. only laser scan track in RaceRoom is the Nordschleife. That's where it counts. That's also where it was a big help in modeling the track. But I would say, even if it's not laser scan, the quality and accuracy of the tracks in RaceRoom is pretty spot on. So, I have an early braking here with this car. Oh, I was a bit too late even. Can use a lot of curves here on the outside. Under this Corvette bridge, then second gear left-hander. You can use a lot of curves on this track, on the inside and on the outside. Same in this corner, it's almost flat in this car. It's another second gear corner. And then through this long right-hander. I was reading the chat. Ouch! But you know what? Let's wait for another Daytona prototype, so we can chase that one through the traffic. So I'll just let these guys pass safely, hopefully here. They're going a bit slow because there's blue flags and all those things enabled. So there's a Daytona prototype behind them right now, as you can see in my mirror. So we'll let this guy overtake us and then chase him for a little while. The AI is at 210, which is quite quick in this class. But I'm setting them always a little bit higher than what my speed is, so in multi-class racing that is, because then that compensates a little bit the AI losing time in traffic. Even though I have to say the AI is currently doing a really good job in traffic. There have been some improvements recently. I haven't driven the Daytona prototype in a long while. It's actually a pretty cool car. The AI has some really good speed through this corner for some reason. Probably a slightly different setup. I'm struggling a little bit more with understeer here. Could probably fix that with a setup adjustment, but currently driving all default. So this corner is flat out. Usually I had to lift a little bit because I missed the apex this time. It's quite challenging. Well, at least you have to be 100% spot on, otherwise you're in trouble. But it's usually no problem. Pretty quick ahead of me there. Let's see if we can get a little bit closer when there's traffic. Yeah, pretty sure this car does have ABS, yes. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of classes that are awesome to drive in RaceRoom on this track. Like Group 5, GTO, Formula US, GT3, B2, plenty to choose from. Yeah, they are right-hand drive in real life, at least that season that we made them. There's I think there's different models actually. Some are left-hand drive, some are right-hand drive. This of course is the Chevrolet Daytona prototype from, was it 2014 or around that area, around that era. probably reduce the rear wing a little bit, or change the toe settings to have less understeer in that corner. So this time we take it flat out. Yeah. Also a lot of curving here on the outside. When the track is out, somebody should definitely make a server with GT3 and the prototypes. I would love to race that online with you guys. AI ahead of me is going through traffic very quick. Not gaining much time, but now there's a little bit of a traffic jam ahead of us. Seems like there's two GT3 cars fighting with each other. Oh no, and we're braking too late. Don't want to go into the gravel here. And dirty tires, you lose the grip, joining the track. The shift lights don't work since last patch. Okay, should probably report that on the forums as a bug. Oh yeah, Porsche Cup also fits very nicely on this track. Dive into the pits. See where the line is, about here. And wait for another car that we can chase. Are just ahead of us. Let's see if we can catch up. That was a close one. Normally I would adjust the setup a little bit here for less understeer. wide here. This is where the track limits come into play. Yeah, Daytona would be nice as well, I agree. But usually I'm not that big of a fan of those semi-ovals with the infield. From a driver's perspective, I don't like them so much. Even though of course Daytona 24 Hours is a very prestigious race. From a driver's perspective, I do prefer a track like this one, to be honest. AI is much quicker in that corner. I would need to do something with my setup here. Le Mans, yeah. Then we also would need a lot of cars to add in RaceRoom. Honestly, I'm also not a big fan of the Le Mans track. I also like the event. I do follow the Le Mans 24 Hours. It's great to watch races there. Not so much to drive races there. I mean, it's really just a bunch of straights and a bunch of chicanes. Yes, I have tried VR, and it's pretty cool, but not something I would use permanently in sim racing. Every once in a while it's a pretty cool experience. But for league racing, on serious racing, you know, when you race more than an hour in one go, in one sitting, it can be quite tedious. And you know, when you start to heat up and sweat a little bit, and it's a bit of a pain, personally, my opinion. But other people might disagree with that. But yeah, for sure, it's a nice experience, VR. But also a bit gimmicky. And the resolution just isn't there yet. High 3-digit. I really enjoy just driving in practice behind an AI car in multi-class. Especially, yeah, in multi-class when you're going through the traffic. You have to be alert in that corner to take it flat out. You have to nail that apex for sure. Really amazed how well the AI is taking the traffic since the last developments in this area. As you can see here now, there's no more cancel button in the pit menu. That's another change that is coming, so people don't accidentally cancel the pit stops when they don't mean to. When does UE4 come? I don't know. Not very soon. Overshot a little bit. UE4 will be first used in GTR 3. And eventually we'll probably make the swap to that tech with RaceRoom, but that's a long shot in the future, so difficult to make a prediction on that right now, how everything will work out. Let's let these two guys pass. Chase those guys. Yeah, single player multiclass, as you can see, is in the works. It has been in the works for a while. We got a little bit sidetracked in the recent past because we had some things that were important that we had to get off our list, and we're still working on that actually. But as soon as we have a window, we'll definitely get back to that development of multiclass single player. I mean, there's really not much left to do, but it's always the last 5% that can take a long while. The polishing and the user interface and all those things. But as you can see, a lot of work has already been done, so I'm optimistic that it will eventually be available in the public game. Just, whoa! Completely missed my brake point there. And off into the gravel. Wait for another prototype then. Hi friends. Oh, he's slowing down for the blue flag. Well, it's too early to say, Eminem, but Unreal Engine 4 certainly does support multiple platforms, so it's not unlikely. But you know, at this point, I cannot really say much about GTR 3. Not that involved in that project at the moment. Sector 3 Studios is fully committed and focused on RaceRoom production. Right now, it's all the Simbin guys in the UK working on the GTR 3 project, but they are currently very busy developing the tech and not so much on communicating with the community, because that will come at a later stage. So you guys just have to be patient. The way I see it, RaceRoom can only benefit from GTR 3 being developed, because we'll then probably end up using that engine and that tech, so for all RaceRoom fans, that can only be a good sign and an investment in the future, and you guys will be able to enjoy RaceRoom still in 3, 4, 5 years when the tech has been updated. So let's see, I'll finish this lap and then I'll guess we'll do a race. Should be a little bit more interesting, I guess, for you guys. Driving slalom through the GT3s. Yeah, we all love classic cars. Can never get enough of those. There's a good chance that the next batch of Porsche cars could be classic ones, since we have already done the flagships of the modern racing Porsches. I see you guys are interested in the RVLN. I'm glad to hear about that. It's going to start very soon in March, and some test races before that. Obviously with the schedule couldn't make everyone happy, but you guys voted on the race days, so it was a democratic decision. Glad you like it, Eric. Thanks, Wildman in Action, glad to hear that. I also enjoy rallying a lot, and the WRC game is much better than many people think. Doesn't of course do as well as racing, road racing streams. Yes, Turned, I am driving the test races of RVLN. Both of them, actually. Thanks, friends. Don't hold your breath for multi-class single player. As I mentioned earlier, it's been in the works for a while. I've been showing it to you guys every now and then, just so you know that we're still working on it. But of course, we have a lot of things to do, and it's not at the top of our list momentarily, because yeah, we're working on some things that are super important, and they will need to get done first. As I always say, at Sector 3 Studios we have things that we want to do, and we have things that we have to do, and we have the things that we have to do first, so we can get back to those things that we want to do. The nice to haves and the must haves. Cool stuff in the next patch. It's gonna be mostly just content and bug fixes, I think, this time around. We had a series of patches already a couple of weeks ago. But in other good news, SimRacing System is going to support RaceRoom, as you may have seen. He has teased it on his Facebook and YouTube channel. The developer of SimRacing System.com is working on getting RaceRoom into the system, which means there will be scheduled races, there will be driver ratings, there will be championships, and all that good stuff that we are looking very much forward in ranked multiplayer. But until ranked multiplayer is going to be done within RaceRoom, it's going to be a very good alternative for all of us to have sort of a controlled multiplayer racing environment where we can all sign up for the same races, and there will be matchmaking in different splits if there are enough drivers. You know, by driver rating, there's going to be incident points and performance rating, all that cool stuff. And you can do, there's hourly races like every day. You can just sign up and The championships have rounds every week. They change the round, so you're gonna participate the first week, and if you do less than 5 races, I think your best result will count for that round. If you do more than 5 races, then it's gonna be some kind of average with the points. But I think it's gonna be extremely cool. I'm looking very much forward to it, and I think the launch is not very far away. I've already checked out the beta of the app, and there was a few small bugs that are still being sorted at the moment, but I think it's gonna launch every day now, so I'm looking forward to that very much. And I will definitely do a stream once that is out, so you guys see and understand how it works. But it's really straightforward and simple. It's going to be an app that you download and put in your game folder, and you just launch that app. It's basically like a launcher, and you will see a screen where you then have to enter your username and all those things. And then you're gonna see the schedule of the races. There's gonna be different championships with a countdown where that tells you when the next race is gonna happen. So you can register there. You can see how many people have registered already. And yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Then basically once the countdown has reached 0, there's gonna be a join button, and then you click that one to join directly onto that server. It's probably gonna be mostly shorter races, but more frequent, higher frequency of races. So yeah, it's basically like an iRacing system, but for free, and for RaceRoom. So really looking forward to that. Until ranked multiplayer is out, where we'll have a similar system built into RaceRoom. But until then, SimRacing System should be a very good alternative. Hey Jose, I was just talking about SimRacing System, which is a third-party developer. You might be familiar with his website, simracing.com, simracingsystem.com. It's basically, yeah, scheduled races. He's doing that currently for Assetto Corsa, R-Factor and Automobilista, I think. Make sure you check out the website. It's simracingsystem.com, and you will understand what it is immediately. Well, Daniel, you can register for the RVLN as a driver for the entire season if you want, if you can commit to it. The driver registrations will open in about 2 weeks or so, mid-February probably. And if you only want to do occasional races, then just make sure to join our Discord. There's a link in the description for that. It says join our league, RVLN. You can go to the website. On the website you will find a link to the Discord. And then you'll see if a driver signs out for a race, which happens very often, you know. People have real-life commitments, they cannot make every race. And so that means when the driver signs out and you're quick enough to take his spot, then you can be a guest driver. So anyone is welcome, even if if you can't commit to a full season. Just join the Discord and be there. If a driver signs out, you're up if you want to. Yeah, I was mentioning offline multiclass earlier on. It's something that we definitely want to do. Currently we have some other things that we need to do, but once those things are done, we'll get back to it, hopefully. But again, this is already possible in multiplayer, you know. I'll see maybe if I can make a server with multiclass on Road America after the release, and we can have a nice race like this. But obviously, yeah, it takes a little bit of planning. It would be really cool if SimRacing System would, first of all, support multiclass, but second of all, also support one-off events, like some special events, where like even 100, 200 drivers can sign up, and then they will be put into splits, of course. Yeah, I mean, SimRacing System is similar to club racing, if you think about it. But of course, there will be a system that keeps track of scores, and you will be rated, which is the great feature, of course. And there's gonna be, yeah, I mean, it's 24/7 racing, so there's every hour there's a race that you can sign up. So anytime you log on, there's always something just around the corner, a race about to happen, which is also fantastic. So you can jump on there anytime you want, and there will always be something on the schedule. Just need enough people to fill those servers. So I'm promoting it here, so you guys, everybody joins it, and we can race together. Well, the main language on our Discord, on the ROVLN Discord, is English, but I mean there's a lot of German people on there, of course, so I don't think it's a problem. If you have any questions regarding the rules, then you can always ask, and somebody will be able to explain it to you, even in German. Hi, Philip. Yeah, the 24/7 part is really awesome, but of course, naturally, there's peak hours in every game. In RaceRoom, of course, there's a lot of European-centric schedule, so it's usually during these hours where the most people are online. Guide road gen? It's not laser scanned, but it's still very accurate. And I mean, I couldn't see a difference. GTD and GTE classes in RaceRoom. Well, the GTD is basically GT3, isn't it? And the GTE class, well, we have a GT2 class right now with the old models, the old Corvette and the old BMW. The new cars are fantastic, of course. I mean, the Porsche, the BMW, the Corvette, the Ford. It would be nice though, but I mean, would it really make sense if you think about it? We would need the prototypes too, because those cars are not running by themselves. They are part of a multi-class environment, so either we would need more LMP1 cars or, you know, more modern P2 cars. But I don't know. We'll see what the future holds. We are currently working on some other new cars that you will hear about very soon, and I think you will like those as well. No. Well, there's something coming for DTM fans, but you will hear about that in the future. I'm not involved in the creation of tracks, no, Josh. Other than I'm doing some camera work sometimes. And I did some sky textures that hopefully will make it into the game very soon. Well, Hicks, there's no car that we are not considering. We're considering all the cool race cars and new race cars. But unfortunately, we cannot do all of them. We have to pick the cherries. And yeah, you have to think about what makes sense in a RaceRoom. As I said, the GTE cars are fantastic cars, but you know, they're all manufacturer powered cars, so that means there's only 2 or 3 different liveries, and even if we did all the cars, that would only be a field of what, 15 cars or so. Don't know how much fun that would be, really, you know, racing those cars in a standalone class. In a multi-class environment, sure, absolutely. but that would also mean additional new prototypes. And right now the prototype class, the LMP1 class, it's a bit unsure where it's going in the future, where it's heading. You know, all the big manufacturers leaving, it's only Toyota left, and then there's the privateers, of course. But who knows how long that class will still exist. Good stuff, Ms. Elliptic J. I would recommend everyone already join the system. And as soon as RaceRoom is out, you will be able to download the app for RaceRoom from that page. WTCR, yeah, definitely. I mean, we have a long relationship with the WTCC, so we're of course talking with them. Yeah, there is a new Bentley out. I've seen that, but it's quite similar to the one we already have. So it would be, you know, every new car that's like 3 months of work. You have to understand that. So we have to really be careful on where our priorities are. We unfortunately do not have unlimited resources that we can throw at new content. So what do you guys say? Should we do some more racing, or do you have any questions still? You can also have a chat if you want, instead of me racing. You can also have a look at the AI here. Yeah, send us your application, Andre. You can visit sector3studios.com/jobs, I think. There are some open vacancies. Feel free to apply. I think it's more likely for Road America to come out next week. Very likely next week, but I think it's just 1 week away. Physics updates. Well, what we're currently working on is a BOP update for the GT3 cars, now that we have gathered a lot of data and experience. So we have to do a little bit of adjustment. Some cars were a little bit too quick, some cars were a little bit too slow. That will also be actually part of that upcoming patch. Do you think RaceRoom is expensive? I mean, there's a lot of content in RaceRoom that you can currently buy for 65 euros if you buy the VRP packages. If you compare it to some other titles, if you include all their DLC, I think you can spend much more money in other titles. Multiclass for single-player races, I'm mentioning this now again, but of course it's my own fault for showing it to you, but it's in the works, as you can see. We wanna get it finished, but we have to do some other things first, but we will get back to it eventually. Yeah, track cameras actually this time were done by Anthony. Anthony, who you might know as our sound designer, who does the sound of all the cars. Very, very talented guy in that area, but he also does a very good job in creating the cameras for most of the tracks in the past. This is a nice livery, I like this one. Weather change in night races will probably not come before the switch to Unreal Engine. And the switch to Unreal Engine, I cannot put a date on that, but it's not coming soon. Game number 77, not a fan, I guess, I gather. Well, I mean, Rui, we have just pretty much gathered feedback from drivers when it comes to balance of performance, and of course done more extensive testing ourselves. But it was pretty clear, I mean, from experience, from races we had done, and from drivers' feedback. Some cars were a little bit too quick, like the old SLS for example, and the Corvette, I think. They were just a tiny bit too quick. And there's big differences also in the amount of fuel consumption in the GT3 cars currently. We wanna bring that a little bit closer together, so it's better for having, you know, fair competitions. If you have a I don't know, 80 minutes race or some odd number, you know, there's a chance that some cars can do it without pit stop and others can't do it. So it makes sense to bring it a little bit closer together there through the balance of performance. Yeah, definitely, Wildman. Actually, I will miss the start of the Bathurst 12 hours, because that is when I will do the first test race for the RRVLN. So that's a bummer, but I always prefer to race myself than watching races, especially if it's VLN and the Nordschleife. But I will definitely catch up on that race. Super cool race. Really like the Bathurst track, and of course the endurance aspect and the multi-class nature of that race. It's really a fantastic race to follow. Always some really good racing as well, and close finishes. Well, old boy, you're really best off buying the packs anyway. But you know, you can spend very little amount of money if you want. You can just buy one car with one livery, and you're gonna spend maybe $4. Or if you want the full experience, you can buy the packs. So you don't have to buy all the cars individually, separately. You shouldn't really do that. You're gonna spend more money that way than if you would buy the packs. And in case you didn't know, there's a site called RaceRoomStore.com, RaceRoomStore.com, where RaceRoom is selling VRP packages, and VRP is basically the in-game currency. So it's the cheapest way to buy content in RaceRoom is to go to RaceRoomStore.com, purchase the VRP packages, and with those VRP you should buy the packs, the pack offers on the RaceRoom store. The RaceRoom VLN races are Division 1 is racing on Saturday and Division 2 is racing on Sunday. Actually the calendar is out now. If you want to check it out, go to rrvln.com and browse to the calendar. It was published today, so you can see when exactly which race is happening. Let's do a little bit more of driving, right? Enough talking. Yeah, so the cheapest way overall, if you're new to RaceRoom, or even if you aren't new to buy content is to go to RaceRoomstore.com, purchase the 9,999 VRP package. I think it costs 65 euros. And with that package you can buy the premium pack in the game store, which contains everything of the game at the current moment of time. Obviously it does not include all the future content that will ever come out, but you get a really good value for your money if you do that. I mean, there's currently, what, 120 different cars in RaceRoom, more than 40 tracks. I don't know how many liveries. And that's all you will get to, that's all that you will need to have the full RaceRoom experience. No subscription fees. And there's also competitions where you can win prizes and VRPs and stuff like that. So yeah, the Glen would be nice as well, I agree. A lot of traffic. There's no practice races, but there's a practice server for the RaceRoom VLN that is online 24/7. It was quite full the other day. Well, there's a US track coming your way already next week with Road America, and then we'll see what the future brings. The GT Masters pack, the GT Masters Experience pack, also contains the tracks. All the tracks from the German ADAC GT Masters Championship from those seasons. And of course you also get all the official teams and liveries that were racing in the ADAC GT Masters. And if you already own the GT3 cars, then you will pay less for the GT Masters, because obviously you already own the car, so all you will pay for is the liveries, basically. Well, the AI, I don't know if you're referring to other Daytona prototypes or if you meant the GT3 cars. Obviously the GT3 cars have less downforce than the car I'm driving. I'm not driving a GT3 car, so this is a multi-class race, just to be clear on that. And yeah, the AI in the other prototypes, I found they're actually braking a little bit later than myself, but then in the last phase of the braking they're losing a bit of time. Adelaide, and that's an interesting track as well. Yeah, we would need some Aussie content though to go along with that. I'm not so familiar with Virginia. I do know Lime Rock, of course. That's another one that we don't have in RaceRoom yet. And what other road courses are there? I mean, we already have Laguna Seca, of course. We have Mid-Ohio. We have Indianapolis. We have Sonoma Raceway. And Road America is soon to be added to this. So that's already a full season for a championship, if you want to make one. Indianapolis is kinda like Daytona, but not quite. You also have a little oval section and an infield. Fortunately, that track is only being used really for IndyCars these days, isn't it? And bikes, I believe. Used to be a Formula 1 track. Maybe they'll go back to it sometime, but the way the current trend works seems more likely like the F1 is gonna go to those Formula E courses, city courses, which I'm not a big fan of, like Baku and Sochi. I don't know. Maybe I'm old school, but I like real, natural racetracks. Built into the environment, into the nature, much more than those artificial racetracks in the cities. Then again, IndyCar has some pretty amazing city tracks. Just think about Long Beach, for example. That's another one that I would love to see in RaceRoom, of course. Who wouldn't? But yeah, as I said earlier, I'm not the biggest fan of city tracks. If you don't count Monaco and Macau, of course. Macau, available in RaceRoom, of course. Not many other sims have that track. Yes, I did only choose the new GT3 cast, that is correct, Matthew. And only the Daytona prototype from the P2 class as well. Kyalami, yeah, that's also a nice track. I remember driving that one a long time ago. Also not being used for much, unfortunately, these days. That was on the limit. Sebring, that's right, that's another big one. I think we were actually in contact with them at some point, but we couldn't work out the deal back then. But maybe that changes in the future, who knows. I get the charm of Sebring. It is a very unique track, but honestly, as a driver, I don't like it that much. It's a lot of like 90-degree corners, and everything is super flat, no elevation changes, and then there's those huge bumps that unsettle your car. A lot of blind corners, hidden behind walls. Not my kind of racetrack that I like to race on. I do love watching the 0 in 12 hours, of course. I mean, and I do understand the charm of the track. It has a lot of history, of course, and it is, as I said, a very unique track. But in pure terms of layout of the track, I also don't think it's so much fun to drive. But maybe, you know, if I drive it some more, I could, you know, start to dig it a little bit. There's a really good mod out there for R-Factor, the virtual Le Mans guys. Remember that track when it came out for R-Factor 1? Looked very good. Oh yeah, Road America is definitely one of the most fun to drive. Also Road Atlanta, that's another one. Well, there are a couple of American tracks still on the hit list, I guess. But you know, we have now over 40 tracks in RaceRoom, so that's already pretty impressive, and the list is only growing. Isle of Man. Yeah. Practice completed. Isle of Man is awesome, but not for car racing. It's a bike course, of course. There's an Isle of Man TT game coming out very soon, I think, in February or March. March, I think. We'll see how that one is. I have high hopes because the track in that game actually looks really good. And even though I'm not a big bike racing game fan, because your only choice is played with a controller. Obviously you can't play with a wheel, and there are some bike handlebar controllers out there, USB, but don't think those are quite the real deal as much as a racing wheel is for car racing. We're actually very lucky that we can simulate car racing up to the degree that we can. You know, with pedals, with all the hardware, with your racing seat and the racing wheel, of course. Not many other things that you can simulate to that degree. I mean, flight sims, of course, as well. There are some people who are crazy building insane cockpits from like real airplane parts, like real Boeing cockpits. Gotta love the sim guys out there. Yeah, Interlagos is also one of my favorite tracks. I would agree on that one. I would vote for that one as well. But yeah, as you see, there's a lot of things that would be nice, and we have to be very careful what we pick, because it is a lot of work. An artist can easily spend up to 3 months working on a track or a car. And there's only so much content and so many artists that we have that we can deliver. So we have to pick very carefully. A lot of it comes also down to, you know, partners that are involved and do things with us. As for example the DTM did in the past. We saw an influx of all the DTM tracks, the GT Masters, of course, also the WTCC. If it wouldn't be for our collaboration with the WTCC, we would probably not have made Macau, which was a lot of work. That was probably even more than 3 months we put into that track. Modeling all those buildings, and that was a long process of getting it up to the quality where we wanted and needed it. So yeah, I think you will hear about new cars coming to RaceRoom very soon, and then you will also understand some of our track choices that go along with those cars, obviously. And you know, it makes sense, of course, to simulate not only, you know, a random car on a random track, but to do a full championship where we can simulate the real championship just like you do in real life. Not to forget esport championships that will be coming very soon to RaceRoom. They will continue as they did in the past with broadcasts and prizes and real partners supporting us. And of course, for that we need to deliver the content. Yeah, who knows about IndyCar? I mean, we do have a US-inspired Formula car already in the game. Of course, I know it's now a little bit... It looks like an older model compared to what we see now in IndyCar. But that's another one of those things, you know, if you already have a similar car in the game, then it's difficult to justify working on a newer model just because it has a little bit different aero kit, if you know what I mean. I mean, it looks significantly different, of course, but still I hope you understand my point. With what I just said, you know, being extremely careful in picking our content because limited resources and a lot of time goes into these things, and we have to be, yeah, we have to prioritize very carefully. In an ideal world where we have unlimited resources, we would make all the race cars and all the street cars and bikes and planes. But yeah, that's unfortunately not how it works in real life. But I think you would agree that the choices of content that we have brought in the past have been up to a pretty high standards. You know, championships like DTM, WDCC, we have like 18 different GT3 cars now. I mean, those things are very popular. We can of course see that in the player numbers. And you know, many people of course say that GT3 is the cancer of sim racing, because every sim does it. But you know, obviously there's a reason for that. And I guess you would agree that it would be a shame if there were no GT3 cars in RaceRoom. And same with the WDCC, you know, it has been in the DNA of Simbin and Sector 3 since a long time. There's a very well established partnership with that series. No other sim includes all the WDCC cars. There's probably some mods out there, but not up to the quality, in my opinion. Formula RaceRoom Classic, yeah, that is still a thing. Can unfortunately not tell you much about that right now. Let it be a surprise. Well, yeah, DevStream. I think we need to first get on some new features before we do a DevStream. I mean, we have a lot of cool stuff in the pipeline, but we also get side tracked a lot because you know, small team, and we have some responsibilities that we need to fulfill, and that is keeping us very, very busy. But it does not mean that we do not have those features on our radar, like single player multiclass, as you can see, like the ranked multiplayer stuff, and many other things. But for what it's worth, I'm streaming today, answering your questions. I'm streaming a lot, to be honest, recently. So if you don't have any questions, and I do have an answer, not all your questions can be answered, of course, but if it's public knowledge and I can share it with you, then I will. Woo. Yeah, speaking of streaming schedule, this year I will have plenty of content because, as you know maybe, I'm organizing this VLN League together with a bunch of friends, which I will be driving, of course, in both divisions. That means a race every other week with a short summer break up until November. So a lot of VLN racing, multiclass, online racing on the Nordschleife coming up for you guys. And also I'm running in a Porsche 911 GT3 Cup Championship at Virtual Racing, which is a German community. So that's gonna keep me quite busy, and I really hope to get on the SimRacing System as soon as possible. And then there's really no excuse, because there's a race every day, every hour. But of course, I hope that I can convince you guys to join me there on the SimRacing System as well, and sign up for the RaceRoom races, so we get full service on there. That would be fantastic. And then we will slowly rank our way up with the rating from SimRacing System. Honestly, I cannot wait to get started. I hope you guys feel the same. And it should be any day now, once those last bugs are being fixed by the creator of the SimRacing System. Can play crew on RTE. Not sure what you mean by that. You mean like a co-op mode? Or do you mean like a manager mode? Or do you mean animated pit crews? I am driving the Chevrolet Daytona prototype in a multi-class grid with GT3 cars. I do not use shoes for sim racing now, because I'm on the G27 pedals without modifications, and really you don't want to wear shoes using those pedals. Still a bit contemplating whether I should upgrade my pedals or not, because I'm really so used to these G27 pedals. and you know, I'm really quick with those pedals, and I don't want to change a winning system. Never touch a winning system. But that's not saying if somebody wants to sponsor me some awesome new pedals, I wouldn't say no to that. Yes, I do know that, Leonard, but everybody is gonna be new that is coming to RaceRoom. Of course, all the other guys who have been on the SimRacing System for a while, they already have their rating, because the rating, of course, is global across sims. But it doesn't really worry me, because there will be a lot of new guys coming to RaceRoom, I hope, and we will all start at zero. And the other thing is that I don't think there will be many occasions where so many people sign up that there will be different splits. I do hope that there will be so many people that we will have different splits, but I don't really see that happening right from the beginning. But I hope that I can convince some of you guys to join the SimRacing System and to have some scheduled racing in a controlled environment on SimRacing System, and get some rating and championship points while doing so. Challenge you on Group 5 cars. On what track? That was braking on the limit here. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure once the word has spread and people have signed up for RaceRoom on SimRacing System, it can happen, probably, multiple splits. It's all down to us, guys, up to you and me. Let's all go there and race there. I mean, it's really what we all want. Scheduled races, automatic results, championship points, driver rating, you know, incidents, performance, and matchmaking and hourly races on your daily schedule. So I mean, it sounds fantastic. It's not without reason that iRacing is as popular as it is. Certainly not because of the cars sounding so great or sim looking so good. But yeah, I think of it this way, you know. It's almost as an elaborate system as iRacing. Of course, iRacing has still the edge, you know. They have been working on this for years and years. But all the most important components of a system like that, a controlled multiplayer environment, are there with SimRacing System, and it's free, you know. That just sounds fantastic to me, and I hope you do agree, and I hope I will all see you on the SimRacing System in the RaceRoom Championships. On the North Schleife with Group 5, I'll check out those leaderboards. What's your RaceRoom username, so I can find your lap time? I mean, you can't beat a free program, of course. What they really need is a large user base. So once again, I ask everybody to visit SimRacingSystem.com, get an account there, and start racing. You know, we can make it as fun as we want. Just have to go on there and race. Too many sim racers spend their times debating stuff on forums when they should really be racing. But yeah, I mean, of course, I understand the communities are so split, you know. For once they are split across titles. There's many people who, you know, including myself, I'm also guilty of this. But you know, I've pretty much settled with RaceRoom now. Not driving any other sims much. So that's already one split in the community, one gap in the community. And then you have, of course, different nations, different language groups. You have an English community, you have a German community, you have a whatnot community that are meeting in their own sub-communities, you know. There's so many different leagues, even just in the German community, which I know best, of course, I'm most familiar with. There's at least a handful, more than a handful, communities, forums, racing leagues. I mean, they are all relatively big too. I mean, at least each of those communities has a couple of thousand members. And, but so yeah, everybody finds their own little corner of the sim racing internet community. What really is missing is one umbrella that brings all those sim races together. But of course, that is a difficult thing because of the exact same reasons I just mentioned. Different drivers prefer different sims, different nations tend to stick together, and everybody has their own little niche community within a niche community. But SimRacing System is one of those sites that could really help with that. For once, it does support all the titles. So if you do own Assetto Corsa, Automobilista, R-Factor, RaceRoom, you can race all those titles with SimRacing System. And yeah, you'll be rated globally across different sims. There's championships every hour. Like if you look at the global schedule, I mean, across all different sims, there's probably a race about to begin any time of day you go there. And so I hope I will find you guys on SimRacing System. If you're German, or if you're English, if you're Italian, Spanish, Portuguese, Brazilian, or Scandinavian, that's a place where we can all meet. I don't know the exact date, Michael, but from what I gather, it's pretty soon. I don't think you have to change your Steam name to your real name. I didn't do that, so probably misunderstood something there, Crispy Bacon. You can. What I did, I logged in with Steam, and then well, you can change your username on the system to whatever you want, I think, don't you? But it's probably recommended to match the username of you know, RaceRoom, for example, which hopefully is your real name. So that's only your SimRacing System username. It doesn't ask you to change your Steam username. If I understood it right, because I did not change it, my Steam username. I actually spoke about that earlier, Patrick, about the new aero kit on the IndyCar and its chances to make it into RaceRoom. I personally don't think that's very likely to happen, because the exact same reasons I was talking about earlier. You know, it's a lot of work for not a lot of gain, as we already have a similar car in the sim, you know. It's hard to justify that work to produce something that is already kind of there, but in a slightly, you know, older version. Good stuff, Oliver. I'll see you on track soon, hopefully. DTM17, no, that's probably not gonna happen. Our contract with DTM has run out in 16. Who knows what the future brings, but at the moment DTM is what it is in RaceRoom. We have already a whole lot of seasons there. 2013, 14, 15, 16, well, that's 4 seasons on DTM, including the Mercedes 2017 car that was available for you to drive for free in the Mercedes AMG competition. We'll see what happens, what fruits come out of our partnership with Mercedes this year, if any. Yeah, I mean, I just really can't stop driving. Getting really into the groove here, slicing through the traffic. Really enjoying it. It's possible that you need to be validated on SRS, yeah, that could be. SimRacing System is working on their part on supporting RaceRoom. So let there be no misunderstanding. SimRacing System will not be a part of RaceRoom. It's nothing official coming from RaceRoom as an update. It is a third-party developer who built this system and already hosts championships in Assetto Corsa, Automobilista, R-Factor, I believe. And he is now adding RaceRoom to his selection. I mean, we of course, we did support him by giving him access to, for example, the incidents, who we now log in our server log files. Since the last update, if you are a league admin, or then you might be interested to hear that. You might know the result file or the log file on your dedicated servers, where you pull out the results for every race. This log file does now contain information about the incidents and different type of incidents. So there's car-to-car collisions, there's car-to-track collisions, there is incidents for just going off track, there's incidents for going the wrong way, standing still, and all those different kind of things. I think there's even an incident for spinning and losing control. And I don't know how detailed the information in log files is, but I think there's also points attached that depend on the severeness of the incident. So if you hit another car really hard, then you will get more incident points. So that is one thing that we were working on anyway for the ranked multiplayer, as you might know. But in order for SRS to be able to add RaceRoom, he said he needed this sort of information because it is part of his rating system. And of course, since it was pretty easy for us to do anyway, we just made that data available to him. So yeah, he is getting our support in that regard. But still, it's not an official Sector 3 Studios or RaceRoom partnership or feature even. You know, it's a SimRacing system thing. Wow. Cool. Well, I'm excited too, Beanut. There's currently still an issue where all the incidents are being logged on lap 1, so it doesn't really help you to review incidents, but it can be used, like SimRacing System does, for rating a driver, for example. Or you could, you know, output a statistic for every race that shows the amount of incidents per driver. That is something nice to have, of course, for leagues. If you can build a system that reads those things out, as many of you already do with race results, of course, it should be pretty straightforward for you guys to add the incidents to your systems. Wow, I was kind of hoping he would make space there, but he didn't. On the SimRacing System, if you go to your account control panel, there should be a button to edit your profile. So that's where you change your name, I think. Glad you like it, Philip. Lap marker in replay. There are replay overlays that maybe you have disabled them. You can go to visual settings, and then I think it's in advanced visual settings. No, hang on, it's in controller settings. If you go to controller settings, and to secondary functions. Maybe I can show you real quick. Options, control settings, secondary functions. If you scroll down here, these things are called replay overlays. You map a key to that, and then you can enable them in replay, and it will tell you the name of the driver and the lap as well. It can be a bit buggy sometimes, but in most cases it works pretty well, I think. So in case you didn't know that. I mean, it was really useful when we had to review incidents in esports, WDCC and so forth. I didn't know about this option either until Robert Wiesenmüller told me about it. It is indeed very handy to when you have to review incidents and you only know, and you need to know the lap time, how the lap it occurred in. Hi Volker. Glad I could help. You live 20 minutes from Mosport. Awesome. Also, very cool track. Haven't driven that one in a very long time. I think the last time I drove it in some historic R-Factor league. Mosport, that's Canada, right? Not US. There are any other Canadian racetracks? There's Montreal, of course. I don't know any other ones. Oh, nice. You got a taxi ride in a Corvette? Awesome. Is that the street Corvette or an actual GT car? Probably the street Corvette, but still. Awesome as well. Yeah, Toronto. That's right. That's an IndyCar track, isn't it? Yeah. New track made by Villeneuve. Interesting. Where is that being used? Is it just like a test or track day kind of deal, or are there any actual racing series going on there? Mont Tremblant, yeah, that sounds familiar. That's a very old one though, isn't it? One fellows, factory Corvette drive, that's awesome. The only ride I ever got in a race car was in a rally car in Finland on a snowy stage. That was insane. There's this guy, I don't remember his name. Uwe something. He's running this Mitsubishi Experience in Finland, where people can go and drive the Mitsubishi Lancers on a frozen lake. So I got to do that, and then I also got a ride with him. He's a former rally driver, or was he competing in, I believe, German Rally Championship? Don't remember his name. Uwe something. Anyway, he was driving really quick on the studded tires on a snowy stage through the Finnish forest. Man, that was an experience. Hello. It's going a bit too slow for the AI here. No, the rally driver was called something Uwe. Uwe Nittel, that's right. You're absolutely right, Jens. That's him. That was a really great experience. Got invited there by the company to go there. It was actually a prize from a raffle that somebody won, and I tagged along to do some filming and shit. It was a really cool experience. Oops. Tina Turner, yeah. That's funny. Her parents probably really truly were big Tina Turner fans. What's she doing these days? She's still alive though, isn't she? Yes, so I basically was mainly there to film, but I also had a chance to drive. There's actually a video on my channel somewhere. If you look it up, it's something with Finland. You can have a look. So yeah, those are frozen lakes, and they basically built a track by just, you know, removing snow and building snowbanks. And then you're driving on ice/snow, and of course you drive the cars between the stages, but really the real driving is done on the lakes. And there are some pretty insane courses they are building there. Very long actually, and very twisty. Super fun to drive these Mitsubishi Lancers, 4-wheel drive. Got me a little bit, had a little bit of time of getting used to the 4-wheel drive, because I was of course trying to apply my SimRacing techniques, and I'm mostly driving rear-wheel drive cars, sometimes front-wheel drive, but hardly ever 4-wheel drive. And 4-wheel drive has a very unique driving characteristics, especially in snow as well. You know, you turn into those corners and you get a little bit of understeer, but instead of lifting or doing anything, you just keep turning more, and the more you turn, the more grip, or the more turning. Basically the car just follows where you turn it. So the best option to avoid understeer is just to turn more. Apparently, that's what we were told. And you can sort of feel that if you drive a 4-wheel driven car in RaceRoom, like the Audi IMSA or the even the Audi in DTM 92, I believe, is four-wheel drive. Yeah. You can kind of feel, yeah, the more you turn, the more the car turns in, which, I mean, sounds logical. But in a rear-wheel driven car, you tend to get understeer at some point. You cannot just keep turning in and the car will turn more. At some point you will understeer the car. It feels a bit different in the all-wheel drive. Yeah, I don't remember if I actually did left foot brake. Don't remember. I mean, you're always taught to not do that in a real car. When I tried to, you know, do my license, my driver's license, my initial reflex, my initial, you know, intuition was to left foot brake, because I was already sim racing a lot back then. So it was really a reflex to use the left foot for braking, but apparently you're not supposed to do that in a real car, in a real road car. Even if it's, you know, automatic and there is no clutch or anything. You know, you sim race too much when you use your left foot in your road car to brake. And you heel and toe it. And you look for the pause button on your steering wheel. You see, this is the fun stuff, following the AI through the traffic. You know what would be also really cool? Would be to allow AI on multiplayer servers. So you could do, you know, co-op racing or stuff like that against AI. Imagine you and one of your friends, or a couple of your friends, wanting to do a race, and you could have a server like 30 AI cars. You could have a nice multiplayer or multi-class race like that too. Imagine you and me racing in Daytona prototypes against AIs on multiplayer server that are GT3s. That sounds like fun. Really cool. Maybe something we can do at some point in the future. Oh wow, big slowdown here. This car's 3 wide. That's when the AI starts to shit its pants. 3 wide. Almost hit the guy. Imagine if you had, if you could add as many AIs to a multiplayer race that you wanted, then we could truly have a very interesting VLAN racing. Even if it's just a couple of friends, we would pick GT3 cars, and then we have 100 other classes or cars in other classes on the track as well. That'd be so much fun. But obviously it might be a little bit challenging to get the AI to work properly in multiplayer, because it is a lot of more additional data, of course, that needs to be synced with all the clients. I was really shocked the other day when I learned that in Project Cars 2 different clients have different weather conditions on a multiplayer server. That tells you a little bit about the problems that can occur when you add data to a multiplayer race, like weather or AI. That data really has to be in sync. I'm running a default setup, Connor, so I'm not sure whatever that is. Probably a little bit too much wing. Okay guys, we have 12 minutes left. I think I'll finish this quali session and then we call it a night. Hi Dookie. Let's wait and see if there's another Daytona prototype that we can follow. Oops. Need to keep an eye on the mirrors. There's no car coming up in my mirrors. Or is there? Let's go back to the garage. I'll leave the pits. There's one. It's my teammate. The red Gainsco car. When the next RaceRoom sale will be, I don't know yet, to be honest. I mean, we just had Black Friday, we just had a Christmas sale. It's probably gonna be a while, I would reckon. Maybe Easter? But I mean, there's always mini sales going on every weekend or every week. Those weekly sale things. I would reckon, you know, individual items. Maybe starting this Friday again. Could be a small sale, but no big sale like Black Friday or stuff like that. Full-course yellow. It's a bit boring, isn't it? All you really need to have is a real race steward to tell you guys in multiplayer to put on the limiter. There's a full-course yellow virtual safety car. I don't think I don't know, seen many incidents in the RaceRoom that would have warranted a full-course yellow anyway. The next race in RaceRoom that I know that I will do is this Saturday. That's 3rd of February, isn't it? Yeah. Which is... no, hang on, now I'm confused. When is the first test race in RaceRoom VLN? I don't know. I don't know my own schedule, my own calendar. I think it's next weekend. Or this weekend? I think this weekend. I'm losing my sense of time because I'm currently on vacation, or at least some days of the week I'm on vacation. So today feels like a Sunday to me because I had the day off. Saturday, 3rd February, damn, that's what I said, that's what I meant. That's the next race I know I'll do. But what definitely is on my list in the coming days, depending on when SimRacing System launches their RaceRoom support, I will definitely go live when that is out, so we can all sign up for the same race in the evening. And yeah, I'm getting old, wild man. You know, guys, it's not easy to drive and talk at the same time and read the chat and remember dates on your calendar. If you have ever done that, then you know what I mean. But yeah, as I said, SimRacing System, I hope it will launch in the coming days. I'm pretty sure he is very close to launching it. So that means I will go live and show you how it works. If it's not, no, it's actually quite easy. So you probably don't need me telling you how it works, but I'll just show it to you anyway. If you have any questions. And then we can all sign up for a race, and then we can race together, and then see who's the best rated driver after that. Bye, Dookie. I almost hit that wall. Don't recommend driving and reading at the same time. Yeah, I know Bathurst is coming up too. I will sadly miss the start of the race. At what time does it start? In the European time? I think it's like 7 o'clock in the evening or something like that. Maybe a little bit later, maybe 8 o'clock. Could mean that I will miss the start. Yeah, you're right, Leonard. There's other tracks that are worse. And try streaming WRC7 while reading chat. Do not recommend that. I was driving on Rally Monte Carlo the other day. Okay, 7:45. Yeah, maybe I'll catch the start, but then I think 8 o'clock the quali starts in the VLN. All time? What's all time? There's a universal time zone, isn't there? We should just all start using that one and ditch all the other ones. So confusing. The amount of races that I nearly missed because I messed up the time zone. Well, Spa 24 hours is pretty awesome too, Leonard. Then again, I'm watching every race that I can catch. Oh yeah, Atlantic, I see. Is it ALT, not ATL? Almost sounds like alternative time, like alternative facts. Right through the middle here. So yeah, guys, 2 minutes to go in this session, and then I think we'll call it a night. I hope you enjoyed the preview of the track. I hope you're gonna look forward to the release of the track. I mean, I don't really have to tell you that it's an awesome track and it looks awesome. You can see that for yourself. Also, you had fun chatting a little bit, discussing all sort of things, including the SimRacing System coming to RaceRoom, or yeah, supporting RaceRoom. I did set the AI to 110%, which in this car is relatively fast. That was because I had the intention to do a race at some point, and since the AI is not as quick through traffic as a human, I don't think that will ever be possible for an AI to calculate the traffic as well as a human does. Never say never, you know, with the recent developments in self-driving cars, but that's why I set the AI a little bit quicker than my pace, so that kind of compensates the traffic. But then I didn't end up driving a race, but of course there was the traffic. Then again, I was also not fully focused on the driving today, more focused on showing you the track and answering some of your questions. Great to hear, guys. I hope to catch you all very soon on SimRacing System. I really can't wait. As you can probably tell, I'm really excited about it. I hope it will bridge over some of the time until RaceRoom has its own ranked multiplayer system. But you know, it's a very, very good alternative. So let's all make sure to sign up there and get racing on the SimRacing System. So checkered flag is out. I will drive into the pit lane now. And if you don't have any other questions, then I'll see you guys in the next stream. I hope you enjoyed. Road America is coming out very, very soon. Probably next week already. And keep your eyes out on the SimRacing System. If you like this content, give it a like. It helps with the YouTube algorithm, you know. We need to push sim racing. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and then I see you guys in the next one. Take care. Goodbye.